Dixie here. Today I want to talk to you about food storage while backpacking in the desert. I get questions about this a lot, especially since my thru hike of the Arizona Trail, and also when I was on the Pacific Crest Trail, people ask this question a lot. Obviously, when you go backpacking in the Green Tunnel, you can hang your food bag in a tree to protect it from bears and other critters. But backpacking in the desert, you can't really hang it on a cactus and have the same effect. So what do you do to make sure that you are protected from critters trying to get your food, and also that your food is protected from critters getting it so that you're not hungry? There are really three different options that come to mind. The first option I want to talk about, and the option that I used during my thru hike of the Arizona Trail, is odor-proof sacks. Odor-proof sacks are essentially large Ziploc bags. They're reusable, but you get the idea. A big bag that has a zipper top, and you can store your food or other scented items in them. And the idea is they are odor-proof once you seal them up properly, so no critters or bears know that the food even exists. So on the Arizona Trail, I put my food into an odor-proof sack and then shoved it down into my Nilo Fume pack liner just for another layer of hopefully odor-proofing, and rolled it down and shoved it in my pack. The odor-proof sacks are not rodent-proof or rodent-resistant or obviously bear-resistant. They're just like plastic that blocks the scent. So because of this, you have to keep the food inside your tent, because if you have it just lying on the ground, even though critters might not be able to smell it, they might just be curious to see what it is and chew through it to find out. So it's something that you want to protect with you instead of outside and away from your camp. Pros for the option of odor-proof sacks: they're more lightweight than the other options. They are more cost-effective than the other options. I feel like the most well-known brand is OpSacks or OP sacks, odor-proof sacks. But when I went to order one from Amazon, I think maybe it was going to take too long to get to me or whatever, but I ended up going with a knockoff brand on Amazon. They have OpSacks on Amazon as well. But the ones I got cost $13 for two of them, and they weigh a little over 2 ounces a piece, like 2.15 ounces. I guess the biggest downside of this option is still having your food in your tent. I mean, how do you know for sure that they're odor-proof? But moving along to option 2, which is bear and critter resistant storage bags. The go-to brand for this that I've always heard about is Ursack, and they have some different options like grizzly resistant and just bear resistant, and also bear and critter resistant, which for the desert, I'm going to assume that, like, if you're in Arizona, there would be a chance of some black bears, but especially some rodents. So you'd want that rodent resistance as well. And Ursack actually does recommend that you pair their product with an OpSack, and they actually sell them on their website as well. For this purpose, right now, the current offering from Ursack would be the Almighty, the Ursack Almighty. It weighs 9.5 ounces and has 10.5 liters of storage space for your food. This bag is made from laminated ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, or UHMWP, and Kevlar. And for this particular bag, you're going to pay $182. There are some newer and more lightweight options out there. One of those being Adotech's ultralight food locker bag. It's actually grizzly and rodent resistant, and it's like certified to be grizzly resistant, and they claim that they're the most lightweight certified grizzly resistant food storage bag on the market. They offer different sizes, but their 14-liter bag, which I feel like is most comparable to the Ursack Almighty, is $163. So what are the pros of these bags? Well, obviously that you can get them outside of your tent. You would carry them like 200 plus feet away from your camp, tie them to a tree, but since there are no trees in the desert for the most part, then you can try to secure them like under a pile of rocks, or just in whatever way you can find to try to anchor them down so an animal doesn't run off with them. So the obvious cons are they're kind of heavy, and also expensive. And also, I should note that at least for the Ursacks, I've known people who have said that theirs ended up getting shredded by a bear, but they are not bear proof. They're bear resistant, but it's just not 100% protection rate. So that should be thrown out there. And for the third option, a bear canister. A bear canister is going to be treated similar to a food bag. You carry it 200 plus feet out of camp, and you want to secure it in some way. So it doesn't actually have like cords attached to it, but you'd want to wedge it next to a rock or against a tree, but an animal isn't gonna like run away with it. Worst case, they'll just roll it around a little bit. The pros of this option, it's probably gonna be your safest bet as far as protecting you from being attacked from a hungry critter or, you know, having your food taken by a hungry critter, because it's outside of your camp and it's very difficult for a bear to try to learn how to get into a properly closed bear canister. I'm not sure that that has happened. Probably just a freak thing, but it's not common. And then critters are not going to be able to chew through this. The cons are they're expensive and also likely the heaviest option out there. There are, of course, different brands and size options out there, but the BV Bear Vault 500 is a pretty popular brand. That one weighs 2.5 pounds and it has 11.5 liters of storage. Not as expensive as the bear resistant bags, but a good bit heavier. The lightest bear canister I know of on the market, or the brand that has the most lightweight canisters, because again, multiple sizes, is the Wild Ideas Barricade. Now their Weekender is 31 ounces and that gives you 10.75 liters of storage. That's the bear can that I used on the Pacific Crest Trail. It costs $359. And that's one of the options, like I was talking about earlier, is made of carbon fiber, and that's how it is a decent amount lighter, but still heavy and still very expensive. I should note that you can actually rent these, so that may be more cost effective if you're going on a shorter trip and you want to save the weight, but you know, you don't want to pull $300 and almost $60 out of pocket. So anyway, those are the options that come to my mind as far as things that you can do to protect your food from critters in the desert when you don't have trees for a normal bear hang. I hope that this information is useful to somebody who's going out there and a little bit nervous about how to store their food. If any of y'all have done other things to protect yourself and your food, or a combination of these, I'd love to hear about that in the comments below. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you found this video useful, don't forget to share it with a friend, and we will see y'all next time.